neurons of the time. Science are not hearing neurons as sexual commotions. Then one day the monkey was just sitting around, not moving at all, just sitting. When a human scientist came to that scientist grasped the peanut, the monkey's cell fired up. The monkey had moved. It was the human that moved, suggesting that this neuron here couldn't tell the difference between seeing something, doing something. Seeing and doing the same, or more intriguingly, for this neuron, watching somebody do something, just by doing it yourself, to demonstrate what we did this very powerful fMRI brain scan. You're into the brain while it's working. And maybe some goggles you can show me pictures around it. So we can see the radical. And once he had into my brain, that's what you're well, we're not supposed to go when we scan the right. Then he said, okay, I'm going to show you a bunch of faces. And for each face, I want you to imitate. So I did that. Then he recorded my brain while I moved my facial muscles. Then he said, okay, same face, but this time, don't move the muscle, just look. So I looked. When we checked the results, okay, alright, I've never seen my brain before. Yabagoni said that the part of my brain that's working when I make the things, the same part gets to read and see the things. So if you're watching a cartoon, angry or violent scene, your mirror neurons fire as if you were doing the very same angry or violent act. It makes sense why Christ made this statement in Matthew 15, 21, 22. Ye have heard it said that all the time. Thou shalt not kill. Whoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of judgment. We know that the act of violating the laws starts in the heart. Jesus illustrates it like this in Matthew 5:28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her has committed adultery with her already in his heart. Speaking about lust, what about the overly sensual characters that cartoons often portray? If we have these viewer neurons, could this be teaching our children to behave inappropriately? After all, we learn best from observing, right?
So we understand what just. So we sit in front of a TV. The man say he went onto a brain scanner. He made some faces, and the scientist said, "Don't move at all." He was seeing the same faces, but in his brain, it was like he was making the faces, even though he was not moving his face. And so it's the same thing when we sit in front of a TV. When the frontal lobe is shut down, the limbic system is engaged, we're in the alpha brainwave, and our mirror neurons in our brain begin to fire. It's like if we're watching a gun show and a man is killing a man, in our mind we are committing the same act. If we're watching a sexual stimulative show and a man and a woman is not married but they're having intercourse, we're having it in our own minds. All this is going on, and we don't know it. So we can sit down passively watching these things, and we're there sinning against God. The devil has studied the mind for many years. He knows these things. He knows how the mind works. Therefore, he makes this type of entertainment so we cannot receive the seal of the living. As you have a band, Ella? Yes. Yes, amen. Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now, last week we look also at songs, and we look at songs with the beat and the rhythm, you know. And even though the words are not biblically correct, but because of the beat and the tone and so on, it gets you in a state of, you know, franticness. While you have songs like the hymnals, wherein you sing a song, when I survey the old rugged cross, it causes you to think. It acts upon your emotion because we're emotional beings, but it causes you more to think. Now, I'm glad you make the difference between Triabian, because Triabian is not the same pace as a Karachi movie. Triabian is not the same pace as these gun shows, Transformers, Black Panthers, my friend said, all these things. So there's a line drawn there between watching a church service, persons worshiping God and so on, and watching some of these cartoons, you know, Harry Potter. If you notice, everything is so fast paced. You know, the brain don't get the time to process it, and before the brain starts to process it, the frontal lobe already shuts down, and you're in that alpha brain wave, and all the images and the pictures. That is why I said that all the images and the pictures keep flashing. It's strategically done to put the viewer in a certain state of mind when they're watching these things. Thank you. All right, so we continue. Now let's speak about subliminal messages. Of course, again, this has to do with the mind. Subliminal messages. Now, the entertainment industry, they have a lot of subliminal messages in their scenes, in their sceneries, and I just want to show you. I just want to show you one here. You know, anyone know this? Anyone know this? Lion King, right? And I would assume it's harmless. It's something for kids. Not true. It's something for kids. Look at this subliminal message in Lion King. Did you see that? Anybody see that? Anybody see that just now? No. So yeah. So he gasped, right? He fell on the ground, and the dust flew up, right? Now, anyone see what the dust made? Look again. Catch it? And no one to catch it? All right, let's go again. Let's go again. Anyone see it? All right, see it's in slow motion now. You see the word? It's a word. When the lion fell and the dust flew up, it actually spelled the word sex. Let me play it again. And look for the word now. Maybe now you will see. Just look. See the S there, the E and the X. That's what we call a subliminal message. So you're partaking in the movie. Your kids are partaking in the movie. But what is it's done so fast. We don't pick up on it. But guess what? Your brain picks it up. And that goes in your subconsciousness. You wonder why the younger people run down sex so much. Because all these messages that are sent to the brain on a daily basis, and the brain is storing up all this. So when it's time for you to make a right decision, guess what? What is implanted in the mind, that is what will come out. So let me play it one more time. Maybe someone see. SEX. There it is, there it is. Sex is spelled out. Subliminal. A subliminal message. Let us look at another subliminal message.
Leave me alone.
Hound. How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off the hound.
Wait.
Anybody hear that? Eh?
How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off the on, good. Take off the
Anybody hear it? So it sounds like he says, good teenager, but notice in that scene, what was being shown at the time. Give me some more volume the future. If you know if you notice, it's right when the girl is being showed. It's right at that time. Let's go again.
Leave me alone.
hound. How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off the hound.
Wait.
How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off the on, good. Take off the on, good. Take off the
No,
on, good. Take off the
it's slower now.
on, good. Take off the on,
It's slower.
take off the
No, mark me, these things were not put in these sceneries for you to readily pick them up. That is why it's called a subliminal message. They put it within it, so you consciously watching the movie, you won't pick it up, but your mind picks up everything. So this is how the mind works. The mind, when you're in front of the TV, you know, all the information is coming, you know. But what your mind does, it has a little room where it stores that information. For a later date now, your mind is going through. And it's processing everything. And it's sending everything to the departments, you know, for processing. That is the time when the mind picks it up and it's stored there. But they didn't put it in these shows, in these cartoons whatsoever, for us to readily pick them up. That is why they are called subliminal messages. Now, anyone ever hear about neuro-linguistic programming? Anybody ever come across that term? There was a show, there was a movie being done, and in the movie they wanted a specific thing to be sold out that they had on sale, and they showed it up on the screen, and by the time the end of the movie, all that they wanted to be sold off was sold. Neuro-linguistic programming is actually hijacking the brain to get an to get an individual to do something that they would not do under regular circumstances. Neuro-linguistic programming is used in the movies that we watch today, in the entertainment. Now, listen to what it is. It says, neuro-linguistic programming is all about changes in perception. So a change in how you look at things, a change in how you view things. This is neuro-linguistic programming. Perception, responsible communication, and developing choice of response or communication in a given situation. The situation can be personal or professional, but it empowers you by giving you what? Choices, and also being responsible for the choice made by you. So in other words, it is hijacking your decision making for you to do something that you would not do under regular circumstances. This is a video explaining.
Imagine if instead of trying to work out what your complicated friends want for their birthdays, you could just go out and get whatever you like and then convince them that that's what they want. Life would be so much easier. And if you come and take a seat just over here.
Now, watch carefully, friends.
Thank you very much. Excellent. So, we spoke on the phone a few days ago.
Yes.
And I asked you to write down something you'd like for your birthday.
Yes.
I also asked you to sign the back of it when I spoke to you and gave you these instructions, so that basically when you brought it with you today, which I hope you have done, you know that no one's going to steal it open or switch it or do anything with it.
Absolutely.
All kept secret?
Very much so.
Excellent. All right. Well, I have bought you a present. Now, don't get overexcited. It is in a big box behind you.
Right.
Right? It may be a small present in a big box.
Right.
Or it may be a big present in a big box.
Okay.
The size of the box will not necessarily give you any clues.
Sure.
All right. When you walk into a shop and you see something that you know you have to have, what is that feeling like? Describe it for me.
I guess it's quite sort of sudden, and you sort of you have a definite positivity about it, and often you'll go away and see other things, but then you come back to the thing you saw first, and
Excellent. Well, just take that feeling and just sort of amplify it a bit for me, because it is a really good feeling. It's important to understand that feeling of positivity that you describe. Okay. And also, very nice to meet you, and thank you for coming on the show. Let me explain to you how I buy gifts or presents for people, all right? And this is the best way to handle, bar none, the problem of, what to settle for when you're going to buy gifts for somebody that's a little bit difficult to buy for, all right? Now, what I do is, rather than recycle the same sort of two-time bottles of wine or box of chocolates, which are no fun to receive, I go out and I buy anything